my channel. Welcome back to my channel. Oh my god, I have been so MIA. Why am I screaming? I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm screaming. No, I have been MIA, and I'm sorry. I am sorry, and I have to explain. So basically, I got really sick. Guys, I was so sick, and like, I didn't even know what it was. Like, I took a COVID test. I took a COVID test, went to the urgent care, and they're like, I don't know what's wrong with you. Like, I was super, super sick. So I just honestly just didn't have like the energy to like film. I also was really, really busy with work. I just got back from San Francisco like 2 days ago. I did a presentation at the Center for Tobacco Control, and I presented my research project in front of like people that I looked up to. I'm so sorry. Oh my god, I'm like a bad driver. That car, like, I literally hit me, but I didn't know. I thought he was gonna turn. Oh my god, I'm a bad driver. Anyways, okay. I need to focus, because what's going on with me? Back to what I was saying. I'm actually heading out to the library. I love going to the library. There's something about being in academic settings that keeps me productive. I don't know what it is. I feel like it's probably backed up by science, because I heard. So I feel like it's backed up by science, because I probably read this, but I don't know. I can't quote it, or like I can't give you guys like a citation, but I've heard that actually you're more productive working in academic settings. Like if you're working at home or you're like working in your room, you're actually less productive because you associate your room and like at home with like relaxation and relaxing. And it's really important to keep it separate also for your mental health. I feel like that's also backed up by research, but I can't prove it. But I feel like it's backed up by research. If I looked it up on Google, I feel like something would come up that said that you should separate studying, like you shouldn't study in your room because it affects your mental health, because you want your room to be like a safe space. And like, I don't know, honestly, I don't know what I'm saying, but I feel like it's backed up by science. Anyways, so I personally like to study in academic settings because it keeps me productive. And so I'm heading out to the library, and I'm just gonna do work there for like 2 hours. And the library is by the chiropractor, because I have a chiropractor appointment at 11:30, so it's like right by it. So I thought like it was like more, you know, I'll be more efficient by just going to the library, do my work there, and then when it's time for me to go to chiropractor, just going, you know, to the chiropractor since it's close to the library, and then heading back home. But at the library, I cannot believe I'm saying it, because it's March, so I can't even believe I'm saying this, but I'm going to be at the library, and I'm actually going to be practicing for a medical school interview. It's usually like around March. Well, I'm saying it's pretty late, because around March, medical schools stop really giving out like interview invites, and you know, you stop getting really invited to interviews. It's more of like second look for medical school, financial aid, all that good stuff. But I was surprised, like they sent me like an interview invite, I want to say 2 weeks ago, and I was not initially like going to go, because honestly, I don't know, like I'm tired. Guys, I'm tired of the application cycle. I'm tired. I was being lazy, but it's a really good medical school. It's a really good medical school. So Sam was like, oh, I think you should go to your interview. And also like my mentor was like, I think you should go to the interview, because even if you're like, okay, like you're already set, kind of have an idea of where you want to go, it's also really good for like residency. Like when you go to these schools, you're also not only learning about the school's medical program, but also like how the school functions like for residency and stuff. And that might be helpful in the future, like when you're applying for residency. So I was like, okay, you can't tell me twice. I will go ahead and show up to the interview. So I'm going to go and show up to the interview, and I'm really excited because it's a really good medical school. So I feel very special. I'm like, even if you're giving me an interview invite late, like maybe it's not even late for them. I don't even know, right? But like, I feel very special and honored that like I got invited to the interview. Like, thank you. Oh my God. They're stroking my ego. Kind of really rusty with like my interview skills, so I kind of want to freshen up. And when I say I'm really rusty, like I actually am rusty, so I need to prepare myself for my interview next week. And I also have to watch like some required videos, and I didn't even watch the videos because they said like I have to complete like a survey or something, so I didn't even watch that. So I'm gonna go ahead and watch those required videos and then like prep for my interview. Also, I also have work today. I have to do my research, which like whenever the time comes, I'll just explain that. Also, I am back to black hair. We're back to black, if you didn't already notice, and I'm back to black because platinum blonde, it was a moment, okay? She was giving what it needed to be give. I love my platinum blonde hair, and I definitely, she will be making a comeback this year. She'll be making a comeback, but I need to go back to black because I just kind of needed like more, I kind of hate that. I feel like platinum blonde is professional, but I kind of needed a more like professional look because I was like, I just got back from presenting at the Center for Tobacco Control, and although my job doesn't really care about like how my hair looks like I personally really cared. And then also I'm going to be going to like second look events for medical school, and so I didn't really want to come with platinum blonde. I didn't really want to be like extra and like out there. I just kind of wanted, you know, just a simple look, you know, just a simple look. And then also like I have an interview, right? So I wanted to go back to black, but definitely in the summer, Miss Platinum Blonde, she's coming back, okay? She is coming back.
Too long, but I don't wanna come down.
I just left the library. I'm gonna go ahead and head to the Japanese market, and then I'm gonna pick up Jalila from the dentist office, and then I'm gonna go to chiropractor. Oh my god, I'm doing so much today. But I just finished watching some of the recordings for my medical school interview, because remember I told you I have to watch recordings. I didn't finish yet. I'm gonna finish probably like later tonight. But guys, I really like the medical school. I really like them. Oh my god. This might sound, I don't think this is like, I don't think I'm dissing myself, but it is really, honestly, it's not that hard to please me. I know a lot of people, when it comes to medical school, they're like really strict. It's like, you know, they have like high expectations and all these things, and like a medical school needs to have research, has to have all these things, and if it doesn't have it, they don't want to go there. But for me, that's kind of not really what I look for when I go, and like when I go to my medical school like events or I go to my interviews, that's honestly not what I'm really looking for in a school, because I personally feel like I can thrive anywhere, okay? I can thrive anywhere. So for me, something that I really, really look to in a medical school is how are the admission staff, how are the staff at the medical school, right? And the dean was giving me the energy that I needed. It seemed like she was very supportive of the students. She seemed like someone that would be like a great mentor. She's, you know, she's a black woman, so that already was like, you know what I mean? And so I was already inspired because like this dean is a black woman. And so when she was talking about, you know, the school and what the school has to offer and how she went there for medical school, I was like, oh my god, okay, I see you, right? So it seems like the school has a lot of scholarship opportunities, and for me, that's a big plus. Like, I personally, I want to go to a school that is free. You guys already know me. I think I've been talking about this in all my videos. Everyone's like, oh, what's your dream school? What's your dream school? Blah, blah. I'm like, guys, my dream school is whoever gives me a full ride. That's what it is. I think it's really good to go into, like, the application process without a dream school, because when you have like a dream school, you tend to let yourself down if you don't get into that dream school, and then it's like pretty sad, all that. I learned when I was applying to college, don't have a dream school. So I don't really have a dream school. I don't fantasize schools like, oh my god, this school, blah blah, because I don't know. I've never attended the medical school, so how do I know that this school is going to be so amazing? I'm going to be so happy at the school. Like, how do I really know, right? So I don't really fantasize schools. I just pray. Like, when I pray to God, I just say, God, give me whatever school, like, invite me, like, give me an interview invite to whatever school you'll think I'll thrive at. And then if he gives me an interview at it, I'm like, okay. And then after that, I'm like, okay, give me acceptance to whatever school that you think is best for me and I'm going to be thriving at, right? And then whatever I receive acceptance to, like, I know that's, like, what God's will is. That's kind of how I pray. I don't really pray for, like, specific places or specific schools because I just, like to reflect back. Like, when I was in college and I look back to, like, the undergraduate institution I went to, initially, like, that was not where I was planning on going to. Hold on, Juliet's calling. It's my undergraduate, which was California State University, Long Beach. That's kind of, like, initially, like, not where I wanted to go. I got accepted to LMU, and it was my dream school, but it was so expensive, and so my dad's like, okay, like, you cannot go there, and I was just so devastated. I was like, I wanted to go to LMU. It's been my dream school since I was in middle school. Like, I really want to go to LMU, and I was super, super sad, but then Cal State Long Beach, right, I had, like, a whole scholarship, and, like, it was free for me to go there. So I ended up going there. And honestly, I'm so thankful I went to Cal State Long Beach because I had the best time there. And I don't think I would be in the position that I am today if I didn't go there. I got so many opportunities. I met so many amazing people. I got to network. I made so many connections with my professors. And also, like, look at where I work now. Like, I got my current job, right? And so I personally just trust God's, like, process because, like, everything that I have accomplished has been through to God, right? Even when I was worrying in, like, you know, college, oh my God, will I get into medical school? Oh my God, I need to get an A, I get an A, blah, blah. Like, everything already worked out. Like, at the moment, I didn't see it, right? But everything was already working out for me. And, like, look at me now. Like, I'm living in one of my prayers. And, like, I got here through God. So I just really just trust God's process because, like, everything that he has done throughout my life has gotten me to this point. So why am I going to start questioning him now? Yes, I'm going to be a doctor! Oh my God. That's so crazy to say. I'm going to be a doctor. Should I still be calling myself a pre-med? Or should I start calling myself a medical student? Because I don't know. I tell people, they're like, oh, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm just a pre-med. But then it's like, I got accepted to medical school. So should I start saying I'm a medical student? Or am I a medical student until, like, I actually start medical school? I don't know. I'm confusing myself. I'm confused myself. Let's just go ahead and get these chips. Okay, so I just arrived to chiropractor. I have about, like, 20 minutes before my appointment. So I decided to, like, read my journal. You guys remember this journal? This has been my journal since January 2022 all the way to October 2022. And I don't know, I really like just taking time sometimes just to read my journal and just see how far I've come and just seeing my growth over the year. It's so crazy. Like, my journal really reminds me about, like, how crazy that your life can change in a year and how things are just temporary. Like, you might think you're, like, so stressed out and you're going through the storm. You're like, oh my God, this storm is never gonna pass. But baby, the storm is gonna pass. And, like, reading my old journal entries, like, all of March, all of April, I was just really, really scared. I was really anxious about, like, medical school. Every single journal entry, right, I wrote, like, every single day. And it seemed like all of March, I was just very sad. I was very stressed out, just very uncertain about, like, my future, what was going to happen. And just look at myself now, and it's like, I'm not really like that anymore. And that, like, everything really worked out. And there's, like, this one journal entry I wrote in April, and it basically says, I always get scared to talk about my feelings or show any jealousy. But I'm really jealous of this person and how they got into medical school. I don't know why, but I'm just really, really jealous. And I'm just like, why can't that be me? I know I shouldn't compare myself and that my time is coming. Life is so short and I shouldn't spend it being jealous of others. Right now I'm doing my best and I'm doing everything I can and I need to get me to the next stage of my life. I know that God got me and that's what matters. And it's just kind of crazy, right? Like, just sitting here and just reflecting. And it's like, first of all, jealousy is a common feeling, okay? If anyone has told you they've never been jealous in their life, they've never compared themselves, they are a liar. I think the problem with jealousy is when you become malicious with it, right? Like, people will become malicious with their jealousy, right? They'll do stuff to try to make someone feel weird or, like, uncomfortable. And I think that's really bad, right? Like, they're bragging and they're trying to make someone, like, really jealous of them or really uncomfortable. I think that's really bad, right? But it's normal to be like, oh, this person has something that I want. Oh, I'm jealous, right? But when you start to act on it and be malicious with it, like, try to sabotage them, say different remarks to make them feel uncomfortable, make them doubt themselves, make them feel bad about the things that they had, that's when, like, jealousy is bad, and like that's when you're being malicious with it. And so just looking back at that and seeing like how I was just very like, you know, sad. I'm like, oh my God, I'm just very, very jealous. Like, why am I not going to medical school? Why haven't I got in? Like, why am I like not able to apply right this cycle? But also, right, this person was in a whole different cycle than me. So it's kind of like I was just really like sad and like annoyed at my current situation, because I had a lot of uncertainty about like what my future will hold. Like, would I get into medical school? Will I even get any interview invites? Was like my MCAT score enough? Are my grades enough? Are my activities enough? Like, am I enough? And it just kind of shows right here, like 1 year later, like I had my medical school acceptance, I had medical school interviews, and like everything just like really worked out. And I just like, sometimes it's so easy just to forget, right? Like how far you've came. And I just think back to like Aaliyah in 2022 would be so happy. Aaliyah in April, Aaliyah in March. In 2022 would be so happy to see like herself now, and like how everything did work out. Like everything did work out. Like God's plan was working out, and that she was gonna be okay, and that she's gonna be okay. But also the growth of how like when someone gets something, like, I don't really get, like, you know, nervous, or I don't even get really jealous that much, because, I don't know, I feel like I've grown to the point where, like, I realize that when someone has something, or when you see someone get something, it never takes away from what you have. Just like how if I get something, it doesn't take away with what somebody already has. All things can really do is just add to your life. But I've also realized that my life and my happiness is more than just, like, medical school, right? I think as pre-meds, you think all your happiness depends on getting into medical school. When you're getting into medical school, you'll be happy. When you do this, you'll be happy. You'll do this happy. And then you forget about all the other good things that are happening in your life. And for me, throughout my process, I really realized, okay, once I got to medical school, I was like, okay, I'm in medical school, but there's so many other good things happening in my life. I have my social media account. I have my little, you know, my community on YouTube who really supports me. I'm reading books. I have amazing friends. I have amazing families. I'm going on adventures. I'm happy. Like, all of that matters just as much as getting accepted to medical school, right? We forget about all the other good things that are happening, or one bad thing happens in the specific like aspect of our life. We think our whole life is bad, when in reality our whole life, we're still fine. We're still doing amazing. We are alive, and I think that's what really matters. And that's how Aaliyah in 2023 is thinking like, but in 2022, Aaliyah wasn't thinking like that. So it's kind of nice to like really see my growth. Okay. I feel like I talked for 20 minutes, so I'm going to start heading into chiropractor.
In high school or middle school who were vaping during the COVID-19 pandemic, and basically just kind of check in with them via Qualtrics survey, what their vaping habits were. So like our conversation today, decide like, you know, do purchase order stuff.
I know Kanye West is canceled, but that song always, like, it makes me so happy. Kissing in the street, kissing in the street, remember it was just you and me. Kissing in the street, remember it was just you and me. K-I-S-S-M-G, K-I-S-S-M-G-G-O-G-G-N-E. Don't save her, she don't wanna be saved. Don't save her, she don't wanna be saved. Don't save her. Lips can speak the word from your lips. It's just something much that's spoken. Give your life to yourself. Okay guys, so I finally got dressed, and right now I'm outside the gas station. I'm at Costco, so you guys already know there's a long line. There's a long line, and it's actually, what time it is? Oh, it's 11:16, so not surprised because it is a Saturday, so obviously 11 o'clock gets busy on the road. But after the gas station, I'm getting gas, and then I'm gonna get some tea, and then I'm gonna head to the library and actually start practicing for my interviews. And also, please don't be mad at me. You guys are gonna be mad at me. I still didn't finish watching the video for the medical school. I have one more video left. I think it's like about 16 minutes. So I need to finish watching that video. And then after that, I'm going to actually start practicing for my interview. But yeah, that's just like my plan for today. And then I think later on today, I'm going to see Creed. I got to see both of my hubbies. I'm dating a lot of people. It's kind of bad. Like, I have my real boyfriend, and then I have like my celebrity crushes. Like, I'm dating Daniel Kaluuya, I'm dating Michael B. Jordan, I'm dating Damson Idris, I'm dating Jonathan Major, I'm dating Chris Evans. Oh my god, I'm dating so many people. Okay, so I just got to the library. I'm actually like in the study room. I went ahead and went to the study room because I'm going to be practicing for my interview. So I don't really want to bother people. And usually when I practice for my interview, I like to like talk out loud. So it makes me feel like I'm actually like in the real thing. And then I can't talk out loud if I'm like in the main library area. People are gonna be like, what is she saying? Why is she talking to herself? She looks crazy. So yeah, I went ahead, I got my tea from Dunkin' Donuts. I just got like a hot black tea with oat milk. I don't know, the Dunkin' Donut oat milk tea, it kind of sucks. Like, maybe it's because I always drink like the Chobani extra creamy like oatmeal, like the red carded. And so I'm like, it doesn't taste like that. It doesn't taste creamy. It just tastes like tea with oats. I don't really like it, but I'm going to go ahead, watch the last video, complete the survey that is actually due in 2 days. Well, it's due 2 days prior to my interview. And then I'm going to go ahead and then maybe just start practicing like a couple of questions. And usually when I'm practicing for my interviews, I go on SDN. So there's something called like an SDN interview feedback. So you can just go ahead and type like the name of the medical school you're interviewing at and put SDN interview feedback. And a bunch of like, a form will come up with a bunch of questions that people who have interviewed there in the recent years, some of the questions that they were asked, and you can use them to practice with. And guys, that form has been helping me so much with my interviews because I find myself, a lot of my interviewers will ask me questions that were from that forum, like the same questions, because I don't think they really change up their questions. And it's really, really helpful, except if you're interviewing at a school with like an MMI format. From my experience, I couldn't find any of the questions, so I just practiced with I just looked up on Google like MMI questions, and I basically just practiced with that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and finish watching the video, and then I'm gonna go ahead and start practicing. Take care of me. Have no. Take care of me. I miss you. Just got back home. I honestly, after I was complaining about how the questions are really hard, once I stopped overthinking, I started answering the questions well. So I think I'm done with practicing for interviews today because my interview's on Wednesday. So I can, I have some time, so I'm gonna practice some more tomorrow. But on my way home, I stopped at the library and I picked up some books that I had on hold. So I went ahead and I got The Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute by Talia Hilbert. And this is a book, and basically what the back says is like, Bradley Graham is pretty much perfect. He's a star football player, manages OCD well enough, and comes out on top in all his classes. Except the one he shares with Celine Bangura. They used to be best friends until Brad decided he was too cool for conspiracy theories, obsessed Celine, and literally abandoned her for the popular kids table. At least that's how Celine sees it. These days, Brad hates her guts, and the feeling is mutual. So when Celine signs up for a 2-part survival course in the woods, she definitely doesn't expect to find Brad right beside her. Forced to work together for the chance to win the grand prize, Celine and Bradley must trudge through not just the mud and dirt, but their messy past. As this venture brings them closer, they start to remember all the good parts of their history. But has too much time passed, or just enough to spark a whole new kind of relationship? So, obviously, first of all, why I decided to get this book. Do you see a black woman? Black woman. I'm a black woman. You guys know me. I love reading books with black women. I think the only thing I'm scared about is that I'm not going to like the book because, let me see, how many pages is it? Okay, it's like, okay, it's about 300. I'm scared I won't like it because it's young adult. And I'm like, okay, I'm a young adult, but like their young adult is high school. Like, I'm going to medical school, so it's like kind of hard for me to relate to these types of books, especially like when they're in high school, because like high school for me was so long ago. So like that's one of the things I don't like about the book, but I'm gonna give it a chance, especially because one of the people that I follow, Kimmy's Book, I think it's Kimmy's Book on YouTube, Kimmy's Book on TikTok, and Kimmy's Book on Instagram. I also follow her on Goodreads, and she gave this book like high reviews, but I also know that she reads a lot of young adults, so maybe that's why. So I wanted to give it a chance. And then I also got the book The Poison Heart by Callan Byron, and basically the synopsis says, Reese's has a gift. With a single touch, she can grow plants from tiny seeds to rich blooms. When Reese's aunt dies and will her a dilapidated estate in rural New York, Bree and her parents hope that, surrounded by plants and flowers, she'll finally learn to control her gift. But there's a new home. It's sinister in ways they never expected. It comes with a mysterious set of instruction, a wild garden filled with the deadliest botanicals in the world, and generations of seekers. There's more to Bree's sudden inheritance than she could have imagined, and she's determined to uncover it. From the best author of Cinderella's Dead comes an enchanting story about a young woman with the power to conquer the dark forces descending around her. Oh, this is kind of cute. Wait. It's not a romance book. You guys know me. I love romance, but maybe it's like a coming of age book, and I'm willing to give a coming of age book a chance. And then right now I'm actually currently reading A Court of Thorn Roses by Sarah J. Maas. And basically what this book's about, it's just about this girl. It's a fantasy book, so I've been really into fantasy books, and guys, I actually really like this book. I'm really surprised. Like, I'm at towards the end, but it's probably gonna be a 5 out of 5 depending on how the book ends, but so far it's a 5 out of 5 read. And basically it's just about this girl. They live in this fantasy land, and like long ago there was a war between like the High Lords, which are like the beasts, like the immortals, versus like the mortals, and then they made a treaty. And so basically when she was hunting in the woods, because she's like poor, so she needed like food, she actually killed a wolf who was also like part of the immortals, part of like that fantasy land. And so because she killed it, because it killed them, and part of the treaty, I can't really spoil it, says that if you kill them, you actually have to go live with the High Lord or die. And so basically the High Lord, which his name is chamberlain, he comes and like was like, you killed this person, like you're coming with me or you die. And so obviously she came with him, and then she has to live there for the rest of her life. And you know, it's a fantasy love story, so she tends to like fall in love with the beast and realize like he's not really like who she thought he was. Well, like, okay, so she hates the immortals, right? So she realized they're not as bad, or he's not as bad as she thinks. And then yeah, it's about that, and I really like it. I feel like I'm really bad at giving book explanations, but I was also trying not to spoil it because I really wanted you guys to read it. But I really like it so far. I'm almost done with it. I'm on like page 337, and I think the last page is like, I don't want to spoil it. Let me close I'm like closing one eye. Hold up. Oh, the last, it's like out of 416. So this is a book, and my goal is actually to finish this book today, because my friend let me borrow this book, and we're actually meeting up tomorrow. You guys will meet Sophia, and we're gonna do another book exchange, and she said she's gonna bring me the other book. So I want to make sure that I'm done with this before she brings me more books. But while I wait for Zenab, I'm just gonna go ahead and read this book.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, 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 yeah. City gon' so you better buzz. And it's here on us. What you feeling? Everybody tough. So they gotta go and see the judge. Nigga better hush. Remember growing up, all I wanted was to be a thug. Wanted me a buzz. Get a little bread. Shoot a couple niggas in the head. Still outside. I don't hide from this shit for life. Had to fight my life, took them hits and stride. If I die, for the guys, have my life going like the club after go fly. Are you with that? I won't get back. I'm gon' hop out and crack. Are you with that? I want big racks. I'm gon' flock. I'm gon' stack.
Hi guys. Okay, so right now I'm getting ready to hang out with my friend. I'm meeting her in like Los Feliz, and we're just gonna go to some bookstore, probably take some cute pictures, and then also like get brunch together and just catch up. I'm like, very excited to like see her. Also, I'm not gonna buy any books, so I'm just gonna go there and like explore. But yesterday I saw Creed 3. I might actually go back to the theater this week to see it again. The movie was really good, but I want to see it again when there's not a baby crying. Like, there was a baby crying in the movie theaters. I was like, why would you bring a baby, guys, like literally an infant, to go watch Creed? And there was 2 babies. There was an infant. The infant was a little bit quiet. And then there was another baby. I want to say maybe like 1 years old, crying. I was like, oh my God. Like, you guys couldn't call a babysitter? Like, I know, you know, you should be having fun, but come on. Like, I just think it's very, like, messed up and inconsiderate to bring a baby to see a baby and then have the baby being loud and, like, not take the baby out when it's crying. It's like, it's just rude. It's disrespectful. So, I'm not even gonna get into it, but yeah, I went to see Creed. I really like it. Michael B. Jordan, guys. Watching that movie, I was like, okay, wait, I went to go refollow him because when he started dating Lori Harvey, I unfollowed him because, yeah, I'm a hater. Not that I'm a hater, but it's like, they're being too lovey-dovey. And I was like, I don't want to see that. Protect my peace. So I unfollowed him. But then in watching Creed, I was like, okay, Michael B. Jordan. He's giving what he's giving. So I went ahead and I refollowed him. So yeah, Creed was really good. I definitely recommend it. 5 out of 5. Give it an Oscar. I'm just saying give everything an Oscar. Anything that I like, give it an Oscar, to be honest. So I went to see Creed. It was a really great movie. So right now I'm like running so late to hang out with my friend. We're supposed to meet at like 12, I believe 12:30. It's 12:30 right now. And it's gonna take you 30 minutes to get there, so that's funny. I hope she's not mad. I'm like, and I hate people who are late, but now I'm just late, so that's kind of funny. That's like ironic. Okay, so like this is also like my outfit. I'm just wearing like this. I'm wearing the same. Oh my God, the perfume got in my freaking mouth. Okay, I'm wearing the same dress that I wore yesterday, LOL, but this is my outfit. And I just realized that my tire is flat. Hot girls have flat tires, okay? Hot girls have flat tires. So I actually need to pump my tires. And so I actually have to go to the tire shop and have them pump my tires because they do it for free. And my tire keeps getting flat, so I'm actually gonna ask some questions about them. Like my tire, this is like, I keep having to pump my tires every week. Like what's going on? So I'm gonna ask them about that. And then from there, I'm gonna go head out to hang out with my friends. So let's go. Hi everyone, this is Sophia. Can I get that video? I'm just kidding. No.
We've been up for way too long, but I don't wanna come down. You got me off of the ground. Sway for a minute, the plane moves side to side. One-way ticket, I want you in my life. I feel a mile high.